Hello, beautiful people. It's Karen here. I hope you are having a sublime day. Today, we are going to make one of my favorite summer desserts, key lime pie. It's sweet, it's tart, it's tangy, and when you serve it, it's cool and refreshing. So it's everything summer should be. Let's go take a look at the ingredients that we need to make this. The ingredients that you need to make key lime pie are, of course, key limes. And they have to be key limes. You cannot use regular limes. If you can't find the actual key limes, you can get key lime juice in the bottle. But make sure that it is key lime juice again and not regular lime juice, because there is a difference in the taste of a key lime versus a regular lime. You'll need some sugar. You will need graham crackers. If you can find the graham cracker crumbs, it will save you a step. But if you can't, just get the regular graham crackers and grind them. You will need confectioner sugar. You typically will need 3 eggs for this, but I use organic eggs and they are a bit smaller, so I typically use 4 eggs instead of 3. And we're only going to be using the yolks of these eggs. You'll need some butter, you'll need confectioner sugar, and you will need some heavy cream. Those are your ingredients. Let's get started. Our first steps are going to be preliminary. You want to butter your pie pan and set that aside. That will be ready for your graham cracker crust once we get that assembled. Then you want to preheat your oven to 350 because we're going to bake this off at 350. The next thing we're going to do is to make our graham cracker crust. You will need 1 cup of graham cracker crumbs. As I said, if you can't find the crumbs, just get the actual graham crackers and grind them. So you'll need about 1 cup of graham cracker crumbs. You'll need 1/3 cup of sugar, and you will need 5 tablespoons of butter melted. So let's get started with the graham cracker crumbs. I've got the butter melting and we'll be all set to get the crust made. This is actually 1 package of the graham crackers, so it comes to the exact amount that you will need for your crust. You'll need 1/3 cup of sugar for this. The last ingredient that you will need for your crust is 5 tablespoons of melted butter. This is the correct consistency. Once you have your graham crackers mixed, you want to press them into the bottom of your pie plate and make your crust. You want to press the graham crackers in the bottom and up the sides of your pie plate, and then we're going to pop it in the oven for about 5 minutes to let it set. While our pie crust is baking, let's get started on the filling. Let's go over the ingredients for the filling. For the filling, you'll need some lime zest. You will need about 1 teaspoon of grated lime zest. So wash a few of the limes and grate some of the zest, and you're going to add that to your filling. You will need your egg yolks, either 3 or 4, depending upon whether or not you're using organic eggs or not. You will need 1 can of condensed milk, 14 ounces of condensed milk, and you will need 2/3 cup of lime juice. That's key lime juice. So let's get started mixing. The procedures for mixing this are, you're going to start with your grated zest, your lime zest. So your teaspoonful of grated lime zest and your egg yolks, and then you're going to beat those until they're about shiny. So you're going to beat them on high for about 5 minutes until they are nice and shiny. And as I said, I am using organic eggs, so I've got 4 of the yolks. And again, we're only using the yolks of the egg, not the whites. As you can see, this is nice and shiny, and that's the consistency that you want this. You next want to add your condensed milk, and you want to add this slowly and beat this on a low speed until it's nice and thick. It should take about 3 to 4 minutes of beating your condensed milk in this mixture to get it to the correct consistency. Last step is to add your key lime juice. You want to pour this in and you want to beat it just until it's combined. You don't want to overmix this. Once it's combined, then we're going to pour it into our pie crust and bake it for about 10 minutes. Once you've filled your pie crust, you want to pop it in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes. You want to bake this just until it sets, and then we're going to pull it out. We're going to let it cool to room temperature, and then we're going to refrigerate it. When your pie is baking, you can make your whipped cream. Now, whipped cream for some desserts is an option. It is not an option for key lime pie. You need fresh whipped cream, and don't buy that canned stuff. Make sure that you make your own, and it takes like 5 minutes, so it makes no sense not to. The only thing that you'll need to make this whipped cream is heavy cream and confectionate sugar. So I'm doing a cup of heavy cream, and I'm going to do about 3 tablespoons of confectionate sugar, and we're just going to blend that up. The pie's out of the oven and it has set. We're going to let this cool to room temperature, and then we are going to pop it in the refrigerator. After the pie came out of the stove from setting, we let it come to room temperature, and then we put it in the fridge for a couple of hours. I've pulled it out and I'm about ready to serve this. Now, when you serve this, you want to put it in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes before and let it freeze, because you want to serve this extremely cold. You want to then place a dollop of your fresh whipped cream on it. So that's how we're going to serve it. We're going to pop it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Then we're going to cut it into wedges and put a dollop of whipped cream. I'll see you back in about 15. It's just out of the freezer. It's cool, refreshing, and tastes like summer. Hello, beautiful people. It's Karen. I hope you enjoyed the recipe for key lime pie. If you did, hit the subscribe button and you will never miss another one of my videos. Until we meet again, think sublime thoughts.